Coach, just talked about him last week, but I think Ralston's piece in the run game. What's that been like so far?
Man, well, he just brings some toughness to our side of the ball, and you know, he's very trustworthy, and you know, it's good to have a very smart player, because then you can kind of be a little bit creative with your schemes, and you don't have to worry about guys missing assignments, because you know, he's a big focal point, you know, in our run game and in some of the personnel groupings and the formations. So that's been very, very pleasant to have him there, man, because you know, like I said, when you have to go over things, you only have an hour and 45 minutes of practice out there. And so, you know, if you have to keep going over things over and over and over because a guy has a hard time getting it, you don't get to work on all the other aspects of your game. So that's probably the biggest thing. And then, you know, the toughness factor.
I know hindsight's 20/20, but I mean, what was the thought process? I mean, maybe not to have a fullback when the season started and then have one later on in Ralston, or just maybe the fullbacks you had earlier?
No, you know, we kind of always wanted to have an H-back, I guess you'd call him, a hybrid guy, which, you know, he kind of falls in that category a little bit. You know, I don't know if you'd want to see Nick with his hand on the ground as a tight end, but all of the off-the-ball stuff, I think that he could handle that, you know, that our tight ends handle. And just, you know, you could be a little more creative with your schemes, your formations and things you're trying to do, disguise things with a guy like that. So he's very valuable.
Tommy Hudson had a large workload last game. How's he progressing?
No, he's doing good. He's doing good. You know, Tommy's a tough guy, fun to be around, loves football, just an all-around great dude. We love him on our side of the ball, and he's I watched some of his clips from last year's game against Colorado, and then just, you know, watching him now and his progression it's been great to see. And he loves Arizona State football, and just he is so all in, man. And so it's great to be around him every day.
Coach, just giving kind of backtrack
Yeah.
a little bit, but this next matchup on Saturday, what challenges does Colorado present?
You know, I've known Mike. He's one of my best friends, McIntyre. We coached together at Temple. I've been around him for a long time, and he's a really, really good coach, and he's going to be very, very prepared. He's a cut above in that area, all the other coaches. So I know that we're going to get a team that's going to be very well coached, very well schooled on defending what we have put on film already. You know, and then so, you know, we got to do a good job of, just because they know it's coming, we still have to be able to execute at a high level. But the biggest thing about Colorado is they're going to be ready to play, and I mean, it's really hard to get them on things where, you know, other teams, maybe the defensive backs or the linebackers get their eyes messed up looking into the backfield when they're supposed to be covering somebody. They do a phenomenal job of not giving you those little gifts sometimes out on the football field.
How would you assess Manny's performance in the first 5 weeks?
You know, I thought last week, and he'll tell you the same, you know, I think he did after the game. You know, he wasn't very pleased with his performance. I think he can play better, and, you know, I know he was kind of sick, but he'll be the first one to tell you that he doesn't use that as an excuse. So, you know, and I think it stemmed from that first ball, you know, that he kind of missed, and you know, it kind of took him just maybe a little bit to get over that. Me too. But but we had a good laugh over it, man. After you win, you can have a good laugh over that. So, you know, I think his mind's in the right place. And but you know, we talked about it and definitely weren't pleased walking off the field with the pass game production of the last game. We thought we could have done better, and so, you know, I think he's going to have a good effort this week.
How will the Lions' performance against Oregon State build confidence going forward?
You know, I think that they're old enough guys, and Coach Christensen, you know, keeps them grounded, that they got to understand that, you know, Oregon State, they're in a tough place right now in their building process. And I've been there. I know what that's like. So this is going to be a totally different type of game. I think our kids know that. Things aren't going to, like, you know, it's not going to be, I don't want to use the word easy, because nothing is ever easy in football, man. But it's just not going to be like it was Saturday. You know, Colorado is just in a different place right now in their program. I mean, they won the Pac-12 South, what, 2 years ago? I mean, so that, you know, they're kind of there, and they just kind of wanted just to regroup, and then they're back at it again. You know, they're going to make a run for it again. So it's just a different type of team. But, you know, anytime that you break a school record and you do the points and the yards and all that stuff, it's got to give you some confidence. But also, I think they understand, and they're realists too, about what we're about to face and the gauntlet we're about to hit here in the next several games. Yes, sir.
Granted, Oregon State wasn't, like, they're not the best team in the Pac-12, but what kind of element did it add, you know, to just go off?
Yeah, you know, and like I said in the post-game interview, you know, when we were at the hotel Friday night and then Saturday morning, we talked a great deal as a team, just the offense together, about, you know, all of the hard work that we put in, the week of practice that we had. And, you know, I just kind of believe in, you know, a man will reap what he sows, you know, and I just believe that. And I told them that you guys you're in a position to deserve to reap a harvest, you know, this game. All the hard work you've put in. The Washington week, it was amazing, the kids, how hard they practiced. And we kind of knew we were going to, lack of a better word, go off, you know what I mean? And that's what the kids' mindset was, and, you know, and just all the players on offense.
Is that in the game plan heading into the game to get, you know, like, the ball early on and throughout the
Oh yeah, I mean that was going to be our game plan. We saw some things on film, Ohio State and Arizona, that fit into our schemes as well, and we knew that we felt like we could have some success. Now, you never know how much success, but we felt like we could have some success in those areas. And then we just kind of stomped the mud out of a mud hole, man. That's just what you do when you get them on the run.
It seems like the run game stuff has opened up the slips and the bootlegs.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the next evolution.
You hope so. Yeah, you hope so. Absolutely. That's a good question. You know, like, that's your natural progression, is to build a play action, bootleg, misdirection off of a good run game. Absolutely.
So, like, is that progressing the way that you would like at this point?
You know, we're working on it. You know, we'll see. You know, we're trying to work on it. You know, the play action passes and things like that. You know, a lot of times. So here's what happens when you start running the ball. People are going to do, basically, if they get in one high, then they're either going to go man, all right, or they're going to go cover three. Well, I've always believed that that's great. You can run the ball. Hey, let's get them into man coverage. Well, if you can't beat man coverage, then you just kind of, that worked against you a little bit. You know what I mean? So that's the challenge that I make to, you know, our receivers and everything. When you see man coverage, man, we got to beat man coverage. And to me, we haven't in some areas. And you know, that was the challenge that, you know, we talked to them about this week, that we got to start. If people are going to bring people into the box and go 8 guys in the box, we got to make them pay with the pass game and the play actions and the bootlegs and movements and things like that. And we got to start doing that right away.
Does Colorado's style of scheme remind you of anything in the Pac-12 or any team you played earlier this year?
You know, they get in a 50 front, kind of a little bit like Washington. Yeah, a little bit like Washington, and they're just as well coached and all of that stuff. And so it's going to be quite a challenge. Yep.
What do you see from Cole Cabral these last few weeks?
Yeah, you know, I thought that didn't think he played his best games against San Diego State for sure. I thought he did a little bit better against Washington. Then I think he played really good against Oregon State, and he's practiced really well the Oregon State week. And so looking for that same thing. And whenever you can kind of get him, like, out on the run a little bit on some pulls, I think it helps him out a little bit, you know, because he's confident about his athletic ability and things like that. So the last 2 weeks he's improved.
Coach, just a more general question. N'Keal Harry and Chase Lucas, obviously very close friends. From the time you've been here, how much have you seen it help N'Keal to have someone like that to compete against every day in practice?
Yeah, you know, it is good because it's a healthy competition because they, you know, they're like brothers. You know, they can get mad and talk junk and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, they're not out there being stupid trying to hurt each other either. Like, it's a really good professional type, you know, competition when they go against each other. And one of the cool things that I saw all through camp was, you know, if Chase got beat on a route, he would come back and he would say, hey, what are you doing right there? And he would go, well, the reason I got you is because you did this. And they talk back and forth to each other, and like, and Chase will do the same thing. Hey, you're tipping your route on doing this right here. I knew you were going to do this because of, you know, how you lined up and all that stuff. So they're also learning from each other, which I think is pretty cool. Good? All right, guys, thank you.